Uh,
The same idea is reflected in the slogan number 4 of the Atma Bodha.
yeah.
परिच्छिन्नैवाज्ञान तन्नाशे सति केवल स्वयं प्रकाश देहात्मा मेघो वायुश्वानिव.
Mego payom shumaniva. Yeah, correct. Megha apaye amshamaniva. So there he's saying, Megha apaye. When the clouds move away, then the sun's brightness, which was never lost, is continues to be there. It becomes evident. Like that he says. We'll do Atma Bodha after we cover one of these. I think our Kaivalya will come to an end, I think. Kaivalya is, we are pretty close to concluding. And so after that, I'm thinking what to do. Maybe we'll do Drigdrishya or something. Let's see. Yeah, Swapna, go ahead.
Namaste. So I was just trying to explore that Swarupa, Ananda Swarupa, right? So you love the other person because it brings out the pleased self in you, right? So I think I am not able to understand the meaning of Ananda. My limited knowledge, my mind naturally goes to happiness the way we experience happiness, like in Laukika transactions, right? But that is not the happiness. So how is Ananda defined?
Right. So now there are two types of Anandas now. Sakra has introduced one type of Ananda, it seems, which seems to be different from the Ananda that all of us know. All of us know that I must become happy by doing certain things. So the Ananda is the nature of Atma. That's all it is. The more I seek Ananda, it seems like the more I lose Ananda. Okay. So that Ananda is myself, that I know in deep sleep it is there. See, if the truth is, I have to do something in order to be happy. I must possess something in order to be happy. Then in deep sleep I cannot be happy. You know why? Because in deep sleep I don't possess anything. My idea of myself itself is not there. Then how can I be happy? How did I say I slept well and I'm happy? Doing nothing, how can I be happy? Doing nothing, how I can be happy? It has to be. The only reason, only explanation we can give to that is that Ananda is very much there with me. Otherwise, if somebody is required to make me happy, then in deep sleep I will be sad. Because nobody is making me happy during that time. I'm not doing anything. So many things are missing in deep sleep. And everything is missing, in fact. So the state of forgetfulness. That is why the guy goes to the bar and just drowns himself. Why? Because he wants to forget. He wants to become lightheaded. Lightheadedness means just forgetting what all the problems are there, and the guy forgets everything. And he becomes happy. Just forgetting, you become happy. That means what? That means the joy must be there here only. It's the idea. It's the idea that Shankaracharya is presenting. And we have to consciously build on that idea. And it's a idea. If you want to ask me anything, follow up, you let me know.
Yeah, technical definition of Ananda, what is? Swayam Bhami? Aham Bhami?
Yeah, Ananda is very difficult to define. Ananda. The Swarupa Ananda difficult to define. At least experiential Ananda we can define. a sensation of some dot dot, some English words we can give. Some, I don't know, I will be curious what this Webster's dictionary will tell about Ananda. Some definition we can give. A desirable, pleasant sensation, something like that, feeling of well-being, something, a mental well-being, something like that we can say.
Closest that I uh, try to grasp the word is when you are in nature, when you are in, in a mountainous region or in front of a river, you you just accept. There is a joy that I don't know, you cannot define it. It's just you don't expect anything different and you just accept it the way it is. And it just touches you in a way. So I'm trying to grasp that is Ananda. In my mind, I'm thinking that is Ananda, where there
So,
is absolutely everything is dropped. It's just be.
The perspective can be different for each person. It's a mental state.
so going back to the example that Swapna gave, what is it about this, we sitting in front of this Grand Canyon and others just makes me happy? Okay. This guy went to Grand Canyon and because he had a business trip to the Colorado, and then there he took a day off and then he went to the Grand Canyon and he saw it. Very happy. Very happy. You know why he's happy? He's happy because what he just said, because there is no expectation, nothing, zero expectation, accepting things as they are, and there is a sense of awe, and all the so-called unfulfilled desires and all these things are all not there at all. So that joy that is his nature is just expressing full blown. It is in full bloom. And guess you know what happened? Then he said, then the thought occurred to him, how nice it would have been if my wife and children were also here with me. And then he became sad. Can you believe this? He became sad right there. He's watching Grand Canyon. People are giving there because they can't go. Many people in the millions, billions have not seen Grand Canyon. They've not heard of Grand Canyon. This guy becomes sad right there. And somebody has to tap on his thing. What happened? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry? In Grand Canyon, you're sorry? This guy's sorry. Tell me now, tell me. These two extremes are going on right there. Why? Because he's missing his people. How can I enjoy it myself? I should share it with my own children if I can't share. What is this joy? Now he's a whole track. He's become philosopher now. And so he's become. So that joy also did not come from Grand Canyon. It got triggered by Grand Canyon. I'll accept that. It got triggered. Something triggered. And then the joy. And then
Guruji,
something else triggered the sadness also. Just a thought. It takes is a thought to trigger the sadness. Can you believe this? If being there in front of Niagara Falls and Grand Canyon is supposed to give us all joy, then why do I become sad there? This is my question. How can a person become sad there? If you can become sad in Niagara Falls, then why are you paying so much money to become sad at Niagara Falls? Somebody will ask the question. It's all so fickle. So fickle it is. One moment is all that it takes from sadness, from joy to depression. Just anything can make us depressed. And so it is like, that is why we give the example of the sun revolving around the earth. And I mistake it as though that is my perception. And if I take that as absolutely real, I'm going to be mistaken. How do I know the earth is not rotating or revolving around the sun or something different, which gives me the feeling that sun is moving? I have to look into it. Same way here also. Here also it is the same thing. So that's how it is, Sapna.
Guruji,
Sapna is not convinced. I mean, she's still deeply thinking, but it's good. That's what
It's
it's
not
supposed
about
to do.
convincing. No, no, no. It's not about convincing. In my meditation, I'm thinking about, I mean, that is, I've been dwelling on it, and I think I'll continue dwelling on it, and I hope
Correct.
to,
No,
yeah.
correct. No,
But
that's the way
yeah,
it is.
so
That's the way it is. All of us
it's
should do.
not about convincing at all. I can, yeah.
And so it's not a cakewalk either, right? It is. It's not a cakewalk. Means what? This is tomorrow onwards. Suddenly we will never be sad. It's not going to be like that.
One has to
And
become a pashu, karchu.
so we have
Uh,
to
Yeah,
think it over.
I think
Guruji,
it is a vyavaharika. There is some response that we are, I guess, we do, right? Swami Tadatmananda says, Puja Swamiji, he noticed one day he was sad. And when he asked Puja Swamiji, so it was Maharaja Santanapuram's death, he had died. And so he was sad. But that sadness is a situational sadness, right? He's responding to a sad news. He's not sad and depressed, right? So there's a difference. So my thing is, that is where I'm looking, is how do wise people, what is Ananda for them? Yeah, how do they grasp it, and how is that? That's my, so I'm inspired, or it's an example for me. That's my curiosity. How do you define Ananda?
Guruji,
Such a yeah, it would be great to have that in this janma.
Yeah. So I'll answer your question, and let's see. Maumita has something to add. Let's see what she has to say.
Guruji, I wanted to ask that when my son goes to a mall, he comes home and he says, I have seen this movie, I'm happy. I go to a beautiful place and sit down quietly and I feel a kind of solace. I feel happy. But I know I can understand that all these are momentary. I do Niswart Seva and I feel for some time happy that I've given my 100%. But that also I feel momentary. When I go to the class, you tell me, and other enlightened masters tell me that you are only happiness. But that I'm not able to understand deeply that I am only the happiness. So, what is the difference between the previous things which I said and the one the enlightened masters say that you are only the happiness?
Yeah. So related questions. Yeah. So it is the same thing, really. Same thing means what? Hey, thank God, Atma is Ananda Swarupaha. That is why when you sit in a quiet place, you can be happy. Otherwise, like your son, you also have to go to the mall to be happy. Otherwise, you should go to the movie to be happy. And thank God we are able to sit by ourselves and be happy. Thank God we are able to give something to others and still be happy. Thank God we get the idea that I must give something. Some of my time at least I must give. And it still be happy. Thank God. So that means what? The question is, we still have not answered the question. What is the question? Where is this Ananda coming from? This is Pravananda is a property. It comes and goes. Like heat, it comes and goes. Water is hot now, and it was hot when I got it. Now it is not hot. What happened? The heat went away. And so now my question is this. Ananda also is coming and going. First of all, where is the source of this Ananda? What is the source? That's what I'm interested in. Coming and going also, we'll analyze it, we'll rationalize it. We know how it happens. That also we should answer. Coming and going. What is the source? We must be crystal clear. We must be crystal clear about this, right? So Atma is the source of Ananda, and in fact, source is an okay term. Atma is the Sadananda. Here he uses Sadananda, an infinite source of Ananda. If at all I can use the word source, then it must be an infinite source because it keeps on giving. Keeps on giving means what? Its nature is like that. That's a beautiful thing. The minute we are there in this upadhi, in this body, in this mind, with this limited adjunct we have, okay, we have to live with this limitation. The entire life is living with limitations only, correct? Managing limitations. That's all it is. Not eliminating limitations. Elimination is not possible. Why? Because the body itself is limited. Where is the question of? Not possible. Okay? And so, at one level, we manage this sadness, happiness. We manage our sadness, We manage and then we become little wiser, and then we say, okay, these things I can let go. These things I can let go. So we are learning to be good at managing our life. Means managing our raga dveshas, and thereby managing our sadness and happiness. But that's management. Then that's what wise people, Shastram says, wise people are, like what? Like the ocean, where there are waves. And tsunami waves are also there. But guess what? They are like the inside of the ocean, which is calm and peaceful. Like that they are. Like that Shastram says. That is what? They will also laugh. They may even cry also. Look at this. Look at this. They may laugh. They may cry also. They may weep. Why? Because something happened means it's painful. What do you do? But they're never going to say, they're never going to feel as though my life is finished. Or that I am a great guy, I am a very accomplished guy. That idea also they won't have. Because what is this? I am accomplished. I am an Ananda Swarupaha. Where is the question of I got accomplished? Whatever accomplishment is there, it's like a necklace, mala, I can embellish. They are embellishing me. I'm gifted. That way there is a gift. But without mala also I am the same. Like that. And that idea is not just a poetic idea, but it comes from this study of the Shastram, because that Sthiratvam is required. Otherwise, I'll start doubting this idea itself. Maybe I'm not Ananda. If somebody says, what will I say? If you are Ananda, how can you be sad? Suppose somebody argues with you. If your nature is Ananda, chocolate is sweet. You put it, it is sweet only. No, chocolate is sweet, but then it will taste bitter. Means what? So somebody can say that. So, Shastram is the pramanam for all this. Shastram is the pramanam. And we use our own experiences to rationalize, to understand, and use logic to understand what the Shastram says. So therefore, there might be a conflict between even a jnani is going to experience, and he also has an upadhi. And experiences are there, same experiences that were there before are there now also. But now the vision being entirely different. Entirely different. That pain that I experience is mithya, and it has nothing to do with me per se, Atma. Prarabdha is unfolding. Okay, therefore pain has to be experienced, and I experience pain while crying joyfully. Joyfully means what? This is how it is. Atma is still Purnamaiva. Like that he will say. And then, but don't worry, things are working out fine. Everything is in Ishvara's order. And Upadhi makes the difference. Upadhi is there, means up and down. Aage piche hota hi rahega. Aage piche. But the Aage Piche was Satyam for me before. Now Aage Piche is just a wave on the ocean. That is how a jnani should look at things, would look at things.
That helps. Dhanyavada.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Ramuji, Ram, and then Sita.
To answer our friend Swapna's question, As it isness without expectations. If we coin a word, to be called as Ananda.
No, dangerous. That's a dangerous statement. You are saying what Swamiji always opposes, and not having expectation is not possible at all. Not
Agree.
possible. So we have to be careful. Ramuji has a point, but we have to be careful. Not having expectation idea should be put down. It is not correct. No living being can be in a state where they don't have expectations. Okay. When you sleep, when you go to bed, you know what? There is an unwritten expectation that I will wake up in the morning. If I did not have that expectation, I cannot go to sleep. Please understand this, underline this, is a good example to use. Expectation is there. These people who come around and say that you should not have expectations, they don't know what they are talking. They don't know what they are talking. Simply they are parroting something. Hey, you have to have expectations. Otherwise, life itself can't be led. You have to have something is happening. You have to say, okay, I need some vegetables. I have to go to the market and buy. You have to buy and keep for 3 days. Some planning has to be done. I must know what is good for my stomach. What is healthy for you may not be healthy for me. It may not mix in my stomach at all. I must avoid it. So all these ideas must be there. Clarity must be there. So what is being said is, not having expectations is not what Krishna says. Karmanya vadikaraste ma paleshu karjachana. They make a mistake of translating that shloka, understanding that shloka. Karmanya vadikaraste 2.47. It's a master stroke by Sri Krishna, which they put, under the picture of the chariot and all. They have karmanyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. Te adhikaraha karmani asti. You have authority over your actions. Actions are centered on the person. Why? That means a person can do something, need not do something, or can do it differently. That is called free will. Free will is there. That's what he's saying. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. This is the $1 million addition that Krishna gives. But you don't have authority over the results of the action. That is what he's saying. That same adhikaraha you have to put there. That adhikara is not there. That is falsely translated as saying you cannot expect any results. My God, you cannot expect any results versus you don't have control over results. Are these two different statements? First, you cannot expect anything. Okay, you should not expect anything versus expect the unexpected. Okay, how about that? Why you expect the unexpected? Because you don't have control over the results. There are thousands of factors governing results. Thousands of factors are there. We never know what happens. One COVID can come and then just dismantle all your plans, shake up all your plans. All companies shake up. All the companies, corporations which have big departments doing so many things. They're doing SWOT analysis and all, gone. What happened to all your SWOT analysis? That they know, yeah, this variable is always there. That is what Krishna is saying there. You cannot decide the outcome. You can want the outcome, but you cannot decide the outcome. Ma karma phala hetur bhuhu. Hey, don't consider yourself. Therefore, that's why now. Therefore, don't ma karma phala hetuhu bhuhu. Karma phala hetu means I was the one that produced this. You cannot think like that because there are thousands of factors. You're not the only factor. Your spouse is there helping you, supporting you. The people around in the company are supporting you. So many people are holding you like this, and then you are able to achieve this. How can you say I did this? I only focus on my effort. Yeah, your effort was important to go there, but so many other things are there. Even the guy who opened the door for you in the office, he's also helping you save time. Krishna says that is not acceptable. And so, ma karma phale hetur bhuhu, mate asangaha karmani. Then he says, now I know what you're going to say. I don't control, I don't call the shots, I don't control the outcomes. Therefore, I will not do anything. This is another logic people use. Therefore, what is the use? I don't control anything. So, kuch na kuch, God will take care of me. God himself says, no, I will not take care of you. You have to take care of yourself. I have given you I am outsourcing the taking care of to you. I will take care of you also, but you have to take care of the basic needs that you better take care of. Mate asangostu karmani. With respect to action, do not be indifferent. My God, what a statement it is. Don't be indifferent means you better rise up. Dharma is there. Dharma is important. You have to do what is to be done. And I have given you the capacity to figure out what is to be done. If you don't know what is to be done in a situation, ask somebody. You're welcome to ask somebody. There are many people in society who know this is what he's saying. Don't have expectations is a wrong thing to talk about. It's wrong. Just too much of this is there. Every book talks about it. Many sannyasis, even today, they talk like this. वो क्या हिंदी में बोलते हैं कुछ आकांक्षा नहीं रहना चाहिए. All these things they say. Hey, look, I'll tell you why this statement is wrong. When that Guruji talks, you should not have any expectation. Does he have the expectation that you understand what he's talking about? He wants you to understand what he is saying. That means there is an expectation or not? They don't know what they're talking. These people, they just simply superficially understood. Good intentions might be there, but then beyond that, people don't go. Anyway, so that's it. It's a separate topic because of this thing. That's why we don't give formulas. See, Ramuji, this formula, I don't like this one-liners and formulas. People, Swamiji will not follow that because we will take one-liner as a satyam and then go on and on. One-liner is okay. It's a trigger for you to think. That's about it. But it is not satyam. Some one-liners are outright wrong also. Outright wrong. Therefore, we have to be very careful. We have to be very, very careful about these one-liners. They are all catchy. They may have some rhymes to it. They may look good and it's cute and all that. But we don't go beyond that. Vedanta and one-liners don't go together at all. I mean, we also try to bring one-liners and try to keep everybody in good humor. That is only to keep everybody in good humor. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma is waiting for us. That is only one-liner, if at all we can say. Anyway, I'll stop with that. Yeah, Ramji, go ahead.
Guruji, this was more of a exploratory question. Atman is Ananda Swarupa. Atman is also Sakshi. So Atman is also the witness. Atman is also Ananda Swarupa Ananda. So I'm trying to understand how does that relationship work? Is the relationship based on when all identification stops of the body, mind, and the desires, etc., then Sakshi is no longer just an observer, and it basically reveals itself as the Atman or the Satchitananda. Is that the way to think about it?
So there are two parts to this question, or maybe one part. We'll do the one part first. It's very interesting. Existence is one. For now, let's use the word attribute. One attribute of Atma. You know that existence is not the attribute of Atma. Attributes are not there for Atma at all. Atma is nirgunam, so there can't be any attribute. But existence is one aspect of Atma. Then consciousness or awareness is there, another aspect of Atma. And Ananda. Awareness does not mean Ananda. Ananda does not mean existence. Existence does not mean awareness. There are three different words, three different meanings. But Shastram is the only pramanam for this. What is the pramanam? That which is self-existent. Self-existent. Okay, look at that word. Self-existent means unlike the pot which depends on clay for its existence, unlike anything in this universe which depends on something else, its components for its existence, Atma does not depend on anything for its existence. That is that self-existence. Sat, Chit, awareness. Shastram is the only pramanam for us to say that this Sakshi awareness, that Sakshi, this self-existent entity must have the attribute of Sakshi also. Sakshitvam must be there. But really speaking, it is not an observer like you and I are Sakshi of everything that is happening in front of us. Okay, not that kind of Sakshi. It is Sakshi means it provides that Sakshitvam to all of us. It provides the Sakshitvam to all of us. That attribute it has. Shastram says these two have to be there in the same entity. There is no one awareness and then one existence separate. They are all together. And number 3, Ananda. Finally, what I want is Ananda. Correct? Finally, I want Ananda. Only Sakshi and all, let it be. But finally, I want to be happy. That is all the bottom line. People come and say, how can I get peace of mind? That's all they want, peace of mind. I have everything, but I don't have peace of mind. That's all they want finally. Correct? So that Ananda, thankfully, I want peace of mind. Thankfully, it is there. The peace of mind is very much there with you, but right now, you are not able to access it. Okay? And so Shastram says these 3 things, which initially we think of as 3 different entities or 3 attributes of the same thing. It is not even attributes. We say asadharana dharmaha. That word, technical word is used. Because dharma means guna. Guna means it's like any other object. Then Atma becomes anatma, really speaking. No, Atma cannot have attributes. And so Shastram is the pramanam for us to say that these 3 must belong to the same entity. You cannot separate Ananda from awareness from existence. Like that. This is where we are heading. This is where we are heading.
So the analogy, Guruji, would be something like a lamp in a room. The light of the lamp is watching all the events in the room. So that's the Sakshi part. But the light also has its nature, which is the existence and the Ananda part, right?
Correct. Yeah, correct. With the light, the Ananda may be slightly difficult to imagine. But yeah, as a human being, we can appreciate Ananda.
Yeah.
That Ananda, in the example, you can't give the example for Ananda. But yeah, you have to add Ananda to that.
To that, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Thanks, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
And one more point we can add since we are at it. Ananda and Ananta are identical. That's a big step for us. Okay. Means what? See, when this guy was in Colorado and he was happy, you know what happened? That at that time, there is no subject-object division at all. I am enjoying Colorado idea also is not there. That is the type of joy. The minute he says, I am enjoying Colorado, then that joy will be reduced by some amount. Because now he is going to say the weather is not good. It could have been better. That's it, over. Whatever joy he had is gone. To some extent gone. Because then he's objectifying things, he's assessing things, he's judging things. Okay, I wish I didn't have a cold, running nose. I could have enjoyed this better. Okay, gone. Whatever Ananda is there is gone. So that subject-object division is not there. In any moment of joy, there is no subject-object division. When there is no subject-object division, that means it is essentially me and Atma, the all-pervasive Atma. There is no more division at all. So Ananta, Ananda are connected to each other. That Ananda is associated with the nature of Ananta. No division is there means all that is there is one.
That's the non-duality.
That is not, I am only there. There is no, I don't even say Colorado, this thing is there. No. Yeah. It's all dissolved. All divisions are dissolved completely. Therefore, Ananda and Ananta are connected. Therefore, Sat, Chit, Ananda, equivalent statement, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. So, Ananda and Anantam connected. Chit and Jnanam are connected. Chit is, you can say awareness, Jnanam, consciousness. Both are connected. So that's where we're going with this.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah, Sita ji, go ahead.
Namaste, Guruji.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, Swamiji used to say, like, sugar candy can never taste its own sweetness. It can only know I am the sweet. Like, it goes, he'll just like says, like a story, he will say, or Kalkand, like it roamed around searching for its sweetness. And then when Guruji came and he advised that you are the sweetness. And then it realized, oh, I am the sweetness, like that. So I just wanted to share that.
Correct. You're right. You're right.
Like we can only know I am the Sachidananda Swarupa. We can never experience. If we want to experience, we can only be aware that I am that. Then it will be like another experience of the mind. So we can only know I am that Sachidananda Swarupa. But like that, he will give an example.
How can I experience Atma? I now that I've studied Vivekachoodamani, all these things, now I'm getting it. And now I've been after Anatma all these years. Anatma is all Artha, Kama, and Dharma and Moksha. Now I got it. Shreyas, Preyas, everything I got it. And so Preyan Vishayaha, he says, oh, I need to go after Shreyan Vishayaha. And that's this Moksha is called Shreyas. I understood that also. How do I experience Atma? That's it. This mind, this mind is after, we're all experience hunters, correct? We're just, I'm telling you, we're all experience hunters to the core. And that is why they talk about adhikaritvam, vivekam, vairagyam and all is needed. You have to give up this idea of experience hunting. That is what vairagyam is, correct? What is vairagyam? This idea of experience hunting. What next? Shall I go to Chinese restaurant, then Italian restaurant next weekend, then this Greek restaurant? Nothing wrong in going. But if it is backed by this hunting idea, if the hunter is there behind this idea, then the Atma and all will not work. Will not work because I am going to ask for next question. How do I experience Atma? Because the guy is smart also. He not only goes to all these restaurants and he wants to become a, what do you call this? Gourmet, not gourmet. Connoisseur of food. Okay, he's a connoisseur of all these foods. If he in a party, he will talk about where this Greek wine comes and Italian wine. He will give all lectures. Fine, nothing wrong with all this. But this hunter is behind this, and he will ask the question, "How do I experience Atma?" That's it. After that, Vedanta, there's no question of Vedanta. So that is right. That sweet sugar candy has to be told. Your nature is sugar, sweetness. Swami Paramathananda ji and all they say, no, Sita ji. So correct. And so we have to first get used to the idea and then soak ourselves in it slowly. And it's not an overnight thing. Thank you. Prasad ji, go ahead.
All the happiness which you talked about is basically conditional happiness. So it finally results into unhappiness only, right? I mean, if I start with while studying Vedanta, I will say Anirdesham Param Sukham. I cannot understand it now. What is that Sukham? Like you said, it's difficult to explain, to define in a specific way. So from there, the Abhasa has come in one of the sloka in one of the sloka today. So it is Chaitanya limited by that avidya. So all this happiness, what we are talking, leads to unhappiness only because it's conditional. Today, I feel like it's a simple joy, which is a drop of that from the Satchitat Ananda, that Ananda. So only when I'm able to free from this Anatma, then if I started to understand that Ananda, that is the real Ananda. Till that time, it is probably I cannot define. And it Deshyam Param Sukham. So that's my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. So the struggle is moving from experiential Ananda, which is all we know about, okay, to Swarupananda, maybe this, if Ananda is my nature and it has to be my nature, first I have to be convinced about that. Then if it is going to be my nature, how can I own it up? How can I own it up? Then Shravanadi, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana. That is the only method, really speaking. And correct, that experience of Ananda leads to Dukkham, you said. I will not put it that harshly.
Yeah, from the
Hey,
Buddhist type of thing.
yeah,
You know,
that's
it
right.
is Dukkha.
Vedanta, we don't say that. We say that, hey, it's another experience, that's all. And so,
Yeah.
by definition, an experience is that which begins and ends. That is what you can, that is the definition. So, what begins has to end. And so, this joyful experience also will end. What happens after that, we don't know. It can be Sukham, it can be Dukkham. But I need that because I'm a hunter. Hunter is always looking for triggers, constantly some trigger. So tell me what position I should sit so that I can experience this Atma. It becomes a question. Why? Because the guy is a hunter. These are all hunters' questions. If I breathe, if I do this kind of pranayama, will I experience Atma better? Which pranayama will help me experience Atma better? You see all these questions? These questions they are not Vedanta questions. They're all yoga people questions. Correct? No, that means the mindset is wrong. The mindset itself is not there. Person has not understood Vedanta, really speaking. So that's fine. We have to slowly Shastra. It is the job of the Shastra to change our mindsets. And so you're right, Prasad ji.
So it's not the happiness I'm looking for. It is the wealth if I'm looking for wealth. Because it's condition. Only when I get wealth, I'll be happy. So if I don't get it, I won't be happy. So it is wealth I needed, not the happiness.
So when somebody says, how can I get Atma or get Atma? Hey, getting Atma means you are making Atma into another Anatma. And thank God there is Atma, which is all pervasive Atma. Let it be there. And let it be there for some time. Okay. Don't make it into another Anatma. And if you get Atma, then what happens? It will be there in your hand. It will become limited. We are talking about Ananta Atma. You have made it into Anta Atma. And so it's a very beautiful tradition that we are studying. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ravi Kudwa.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about this happiness, and I'm trying, instead of trying to define what is happiness, I'm trying to see happiness probably starting with status of a body, then promote it to the status of mind, then further promote it to the status of Atma. I think that's how the evolution should happen. Instead of trying to define, we just change the status of the body to the mind to the Atma. That's what my thinking about the happiness.
Yeah, when you say promote, what you mean probably is this abhimana that is there, that misidentification, if I can say that. I have identified with the body and taken the body to be Atma, to be myself. Shastram is clarifying that, the self is not as simple as you think it is. It's a lot more than the body. Then why is it the senses? No. Senses also same category as the body. Different category, but still same category as Anatma. Okay, what about the mind, the most subtle of all? That is the maximum we can go. Beyond that, we don't have anything. And so, what about mind? No, mind also is an instrument like the chisel used by the carpenter. Carpenter never confuses the chisel to be himself, herself, and therefore, mind also is anatma category. Because Shankaracharya now is talking about anatma, no? Kaha asau anatma was asked by the student. So this is all to be put in the anatma category. So maybe that's what you mean by promote.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Guruji.
Yeah, that's correct. So promote, when you say, we don't, again somebody may ask, what do you mean by promote? And so what I will say, I'll help you with that. And promote means what? Change our understanding.
Correct.
Correct, better, correct our understanding. My understanding right now is I am the body. Am I ready to correct my understanding of myself? This is the idea. This is the question. Maybe in that context, we can say promote.
Yeah, I use the same sense actually. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Guruji, are you also including intellect with mind in that definition that you just gave a few minutes ago?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am. General idea of mind, which includes memory, intellect, the seat of emotions, and so forth. All the different functions of the mind.
Thank you.
Because then, what is the difference between an emoting mind, emoting faculty of the mind, and the deciding faculty of the mind? Buddhi, generally we say nischayatmika buddhi, so that which makes decisions and comes to conclusions, that aspect, that faculty, that aspect of this mind is buddhi. Sankalpa vikalpatmika manaha, atmikam manaha. So this idea of optionality and doubting and confusion, thinking, emotions, all that is attributed to the mind. Okay, it's all the same faculty when it comes to this discussion of experience.
Right. It's still an Atma, correct?
Correct. Correct.
The classical definition is the mind is like a child because it basically goes after everything the sense organs want. It's insatiable, and the intellect is like the adult because it says this much and not that much. It's giving you that much, a little bit of agency. But again, to your point, all of that is still anatma. Doesn't matter.
And now that you brought up the child, this mind is just playful, just goes all over, and then the buddhi has to come and now this what they do, the meditation when they give, why do you need to meditate? This idea, why do you need a japa? Then you have something to hold on to. They give the example of this elephant. The elephant is going through the market. The mahout is sitting on top and going, but there is a market, so the stores are there both sides, and this elephant is looking around like this, and its trunk is going all over, and quietly picks up a mango and eats, quietly picks up an apple and consumes, and everything is given. And these fellows are saying, oh. So you know what this guy does? He doesn't have to hit the elephant and all. He gets off, he gives a stick. He asks the elephant to hold the stick in the trunk. So it holds the stick. Still does the same thing. But guess what? It doesn't grab any fruits. And so like that, the mind has to be given some employment. And that employment is japa. So upon saying Rama's name or Krishna's name, then that child becomes quiet for the moment.
Right.
Thank you, Ram. Yeah, we'll pause with that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Jai Kumarji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you.